The struggling dreamed the docking clamps hissed as they released Starbite from Bay 47 of Terminal Station Omega. Marcus Reed gripped the controls of his food vessel, guiding the battered ship toward the commercial district where the evening crowd would soon gather. The ship was small, barely 30 meters from nose to tail, with most of that space devoted to the kitchen and storage. A converted military supply runner from the Terran expansion era, it had seen better days. Much better days. Marcus glanced at the fuel gauge and winced. They were running on fumes again. The refrigeration units were making that grinding noise that meant another expensive repair was coming. And the hull plating on the starboard side still showed scorch marks from when a drunk pilot had clipped them last month. He couldn't afford to fix that either. Sophia Chen sat at the navigation console, her dark eyes fixed on the financial report scrolling across her screen. She had been Marcus's friend since their academy days on Earth, back when they both dreamed of exploring the stars. Instead of discovery and adventure, they had found debt and disappointment. Her silence spoke louder than any complaint. The commercial district of Omega Station stretched before them like a glittering canyon of light and sound. Massive advertising holograms projected images of luxury goods that Marcus could never afford. Other food vessels, sleeker and newer than Starbite, already occupied the prime locations. Marcus settled for a spot near the industrial zone, where the workers would pass by during shift changes. He activated the exterior lights and the serving window slid open with a reluctant groan. The smell of his cooking drifted out into the station's recycled atmosphere. Tonight's special was shepherd's pie, made with synthesized beef and real potatoes that had cost him more than he should have spent. It was his mother's recipe, adapted for the protein processors they could barely keep running. The evening shift change came and went. A handful of customers stopped by. A Centaurian engineer bought 2 portions. A human dock worker ordered the daily special but complained about the price. A Thaxian family purchased drinks but nothing else. By the time the night cycle began, Marcus counted their earnings. It was not enough. It was never enough. Sophia finally broke her silence. We're 3,000 credits short on the docking fee. It's due in 2 days, Marcus nodded. He had known this was coming. We can sell some of the equipment. The backup cooler maybe. We've already sold the backup cooler. And the emergency supplies. And my personal shuttle. Sophia's voice was flat, emotionless. She had moved past anger weeks ago. Marcus, we need to face reality. Starbite is dying. We should sell it while we still can and pay off our debts. This ship is all we have. Exactly. And soon we won't even have this. Marcus had no answer for that. He began cleaning the kitchen, scrubbing the surfaces with mechanical precision. It was something to do, a way to avoid thinking about the future that was closing in around them. Sophia shut down the navigation systems and retired to her small cabin without another word. The station's night cycle deepened. Most of the commercial vessels had closed down and returned to their docking bays. Marcus should have done the same, but he could not bring himself to move. He stood at the serving window looking out at the empty plaza, wondering where everything had gone wrong. A sound reached him through the thin hull. A cough, wet and rattling like something dying. Marcus froze, listening. There it was again, coming from the shadows between 2 cargo containers about 20 meters away. He grabbed a portable light and activated the exterior ramp. The cold hit him immediately. Omega Station kept the commercial districts warm, but the industrial zones ran cold to save energy. Marcus's breath misted in the air as he approached the containers. The coughing grew louder. He found the dragon in the narrow gap between the containers. At first, Marcus thought it was a pile of discarded machinery, all angles and dark metal. Then the pile moved, and he realized he was looking at a living being. The dragon was massive, even curled up as it was. Its scales, which should have gleamed with the characteristic iridescence of the Dracorean species, were dull and flaking. Its wings were folded tight against its body, torn membrane visible even in the dim light. One eye opened and fixed on Marcus. It was clouded with age or illness, but there was intelligence there, awareness. The dragon spoke, its voice a deep rumble that Marcus felt in his chest. Human, leave me. I have nothing to steal. Marcus had seen dragons before. Everyone had. They were one of the elder species, beings who had mastered space travel while humans were still fighting with bronze weapons. They were proud, powerful, and wealthy beyond human comprehension. This dragon was none of those things. This dragon was dying, When did you last eat? Marcus asked. The dragon's eye closed. 3 days. Perhaps 4. Time becomes uncertain. Marcus ran back to Starbite. Sophia had emerged from her cabin, alerted by the open ramp. What are you doing? There's someone who needs help. Marcus grabbed the largest container they had, a serving bowl meant for family portions. He ladled out the remaining shepherd's pie, every last bit of it. It represented food they could have sold tomorrow, calories they could have eaten themselves. Sophia started to protest, then saw his face and stopped. Marcus carried the steaming bowl back to the dragon. He set it down carefully within reach of the creature's clawed hands. It's hot. Be careful. The dragon stared at the food, then at Marcus. I cannot pay. I'm not asking you to. For a long moment, the dragon did not move. Then slowly it reached for the bowl. Its claws trembled with weakness as it lifted the food to its mouth. Marcus watched as the creature ate, desperate and grateful, making small sounds of appreciation. When the bowl was empty, the dragon set it down with careful precision. I am called Corvash, the dragon said. Once I was Corvash the Golden, merchant lord of the Dracorian trade clans. Now I am nothing. But I will remember this kindness, human. What is your name? Marcus Reed. Marcus Reed. Corvash repeated the name like a prayer. You have fed a stranger in his darkest hour. This is a debt that cannot be easily repaid. Marcus collected the empty bowl. No debt, just don't die out here, okay? He returned to Starbite, where Sophia waited with her arms crossed. She looked at the empty bowl, then at Marcus, and shook her head. But she was smiling slightly, that sad smile that meant she understood even if she disagreed. You're going to feed him again tomorrow, aren't you? She asked. If he's still here, yes, Sophia sighed. Then I suppose we had better make extra. Marcus sealed the serving window and guided Starbite back toward their docking bay. Behind them, in the shadows between the cargo containers, Corvash the Golden watched them go. And for the first time in many months, the old dragon felt something he had thought lost forever. He felt hope.